I don't have time for the waste man jokes. Personal thing if I'm getting up close. Loyal to Oaks, I've taken an O. Versace Hotel and I'm taking the robes. Seeing them in person, I'm seeing a ghost. They told me relax as they're taking control.
So LaMelo Ball is pretty good at basketball, and we've all known that, right? I mean, right? Like, okay, bro did drop 92 points in a high school game as a sophomore, but he was also a bench warmer on a terrible Lithuania team. But wait, bro literally hit a shot from half court, but he also did stuff like this. I guess my point is, LaMelo is quite the confusing talent. I mean, it seems like now he's got it all figured out, right? My guy is like a legit 6'6" or 6'7" now. Well, 6'6" if you ask ESPN, 6'7" if you ask him.
God, you grew. You were 6 feet, what, a year and a half ago, and now you're 6'7"?
6'7".
Woo.
Wow.
That's nice. We could use that kind of growth spurt, Ramona.
He was tall when he was 6 foot to me.
Great.
And 6'8" if you ask LeVar Ball is life or overtime. And Jesus Christ, maybe 7'7" if you peep his Instagram. Regardless, it's safe to say most people agree on Melo being about 6'7", and he's impressed a lot of people with how well he's added weight to his frame as he's grown. LaMelo is already a physical specimen at any level, as if he were to be drafted today, he would be the NBA's third tallest point guard, behind only Ben Simmons at 6'10" and Isaac Bonga at 6'9". As a sophomore at Chin say that we can all throw all of those concerns out of the window. We can 100% say LaMelo Ball has the size and frame to play at the NBA level, especially if he continues to add strength. Actually, hold up. Scratch that. We can 100% say he has more than enough size and more than enough length to play in the NBA, and he would enter the league with some of the best physical tools of any point guard on any team. So if LaMelo's body ain't the problem, then why do we have such a hard time projecting this dude? NBA mockdraft.net seems to think Melo is a top 3 talent, while NBA Draft Room slots him at number 15, barely a lottery pick, and ESPN doesn't even have him in the first round. They've got him going as the number 3 pick in the second round. So I guess it'd be safe to say LaMelo's stock is pretty fluid right now. Which is fair, you know, because, I mean, if you're an NBA scout, then you're asking yourself one question. What do we really know about LaMelo Ball? Like, really? Okay, let's do some objective analysis of the facts. LaMelo Ball played exceptionally well as a freshman on a stacked Chino Hills team. And he was even named as the National Co-Freshman of the Year with teammate Onyeka Okongwu. He helped his team win a ring and showed tremendous upside. And then there was the JVA, NCAA. No? Well, how about the Chinese Basketball League? No? Well, is it even as reputable as the NBL? No? Exactly. It isn't a reputable league to NBA scouts. And I only need one question for the JBA, alright? Keep it 1,000 with me. Was the JBA competitive? I rest my case, alright? That year and a half is a fat hole in LaMelo's basketball resume that got off to a nearly perfect start. A fat hole that other 2020 NBA prospects just don't have. A fat hole that makes LaMelo's high school career difficult to measure against his peers. But wait, I hear y'all in the comments. All right. Well, if there's anyone in the comments, actually. But anyways, I hear y'all. If you're there in the comments, I hear y'all. You're wondering about his time in his senior year at Spire Prep Academy, where Melo actually showed that he was still an elite prospect with a tantalizing skill set. Or so we think. Because, again, like his freshman year in high school, LaMelo played on yet another stacked team that has a leg up on the competition. Now listen, I'm not hating. I'm just being honest. Because if I'm an NBA scout, LaMelo's resume to me is 1 year on a stacked Chino Hills team that produced a future NBA player and 2 future D1 players in Onyeka and Eli Scott. And another year on a similarly stacked Chino Hills team just without Lonzo, meaning LaMelo could jack up as many shots as he wants, well, as long as LeVar got his way. Then nearly a year and a half in the JBA and in Lithuania, where NBA scouts cannot reliably evaluate his development. And then you can add another year on another stacked team in Spire Prep Academy. Basically, LaMelo's doubters come from his jacked up basketball resume. And while there is a lot of good, it seems like there's almost equally as much bad to cancel out that good. So here is my honest evaluation of LaMelo Ball. This dude has elite size at 6'7", 180 pounds. His playmaking and floor vision are second to none in the class of 2020. He is a terrific passer in transition and in the pick and roll. As a scorer, he's fairly limited, however, which is something that we've seen hurt Lonzo in the pros. He often takes too many ill-advised, contested off-the-dribble pull-ups and doesn't have much of a mid-range game. He's a decent spot-up shooter, but with his semi-awkward form, he's really inconsistent. And despite being an excellent finisher around the rim, in my opinion, when he was at Chino Hills, and still a formidable finisher off the dribble at Spire Academy, is it just me, or does he seem to get rejected a lot at the basket and appears to be unable to finish at times at the basket against just decent rim protection? That said, he's still got a pretty nice floater game and seems to be getting bouncier every time we see homeboy play. But even though he's a much improved leaper, slamming with ease and catching alley-oops now, he's really just an average athlete when comparing him to his peers or NBA comp. His size and speed help him in that category. And it's worth noting that Melo is exceptionally fast with the ball in his hands, a lot like Lonzo. What hurts his stock the most is his lack of defensive awareness and aggression, along with his at times shaky ball handling. Don't get me wrong, LaMelo is shifty with the ball in his hands and can take ankles when he needs to, but he does dribble a bit high, and it seems like you can force the ball out of his hands if you put a pesky defender on him. So here's my final verdict. LaMelo is a mid-first round talent that might vault himself into the top 10 if he's able to show that he can be a lead option on his team in the NBL, or he might slip to the second round if he fails to find any consistency. I project him going anywhere from the 10 to 25-ish range in the 2020 NBA draft, because he'll have a lot of attention on him and RJ Hampton and the NBL, and he'll play well enough for a team to believe in his upside, but not well enough to show that he can be a future star in the NBA. I think the best player comp for Melo is some combination of Penny Hardaway, a former All-Star who dominated with Shaq on the Orlando Magic in the 90s, and his brother Lonzo Ball. Both Hardaway and Lonzo are tall point guards, with both standing at 6'7" and 6'6" respectively. Penny Hardaway was a gifted scorer who used his height to his advantage, which is something LaMelo should continue to do in the future. And Lonzo, like Penny, plays with an all-around play style, just as Melo does. I really like Melo's game. I'm a fan. But he needs to show more defensive aggression and consistent shooting/scoring in the NBL for me to believe that he could be a top 10 or top 5 pick in the 2020 draft. Lonzo wasn't a great defender in high school, but now he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire NBA. Perhaps we can see Melo take a similar leap because he has all the tools. If he were to improve on both of those facets of his game, maybe sharpen his handle just a bit, and possibly even grow to an official 6'8", I could legitimately see LaMelo being in contention for the #1 overall pick and have future all-star type upside. But if not, I think he's a mid-first round talent, and he'll be a starter level NBA player at best. Let's just hope Melo keeps balling out like he is in the Drew League, because if he does, everything will take care of itself.